you're on the couch. Your dog is right there next to you, warm and close, and without even thinking about it, you do the thing. Both arms, full wrap. Face buried in that fur that smells like outside and something vaguely biscuit adjacent. You squeeze. You think, this is love. This is the purest thing I do. And then, if you could see your dog's face right now, you'd notice something. The body has gone completely still. Not relaxed still. Waiting still. Ears slightly back. Eyes doing that sideways drift toward the exit. And when you finally let go, they give you this one small polite lick. Like a handshake at the end of a meeting that ran too long. We think love looks the same to everyone. Hold on to that. We'll come back to it. Here's the thing about dog owners, and I say this with full affection because I am absolutely one of them. We project hard. We feel love through closeness, through eye contact, through wrapping ourselves around something and not letting go. So naturally, we assume our dogs receive love the same way we give it, and because dogs are so tolerant, so deeply bonded to us, they go along with a lot of it without a single obvious complaint. Which is exactly where the problem hides. Because here's what I want to say. Dogs are fine. They'd tell you if they weren't. But actually, wait. That framing is the whole trap. Dogs are extraordinary at tolerating things they dislike from people they love. Canine behaviorists have a specific term for this, learned tolerance. And the unsettling part about learned tolerance is that it accumulates quietly, invisibly, into chronic low-level stress with no dramatic signal, no obvious complaint, nothing that trips your alarm. Your dog's silence is not a green light. It's just silence. Stanley Koren, psychologist, dog cognition researcher, did something that sounds simple but landed pretty hard when I read it. He analyzed a large sample of publicly shared photos of people hugging their dogs. Just photos, candid ones. And in over 80% of them, the dogs were showing at least one measurable stress signal. Turned head, half-moon eye, flattened ears, a lip lick, a yawn mid-hug. Over 80%. And beyond hugging, direct, prolonged eye contact, threat signal in dog social language, looming posture, leaning over them, dominance, physical restraint of any kind, predator behavior instinctively. The intent behind these things doesn't change how they register in a dog's nervous system. I was going to put together a whole graphic of stress signals here. Honestly, just watch your dog's ears the next time you go in for a hug. That's the real-time data you need, so let's actually walk through it. The specific daily things most of us do without even registering them. Waking your dog mid-sploot because you want to cuddle right now. Forcing a greeting with a stranger on the street when your dog has clearly already decided no thank you. The well-meaning two-handed face grab before a boop, which, from their perspective, is just a large primate suddenly seizing their head. And look, brief pause, look at camera. The husky in the Halloween costume. We all see the photos. That dog is having a complete internal crisis and we're putting it on Instagram with heart emojis. No judgment, I've done it. But each of these is a small withdrawal, not a catastrophic one. Just a quiet, accumulating one. Here's the chemistry that's actually happening underneath all of this. Repeated low-grade stressors build cortisol in dogs the same way they build it in us. Except dogs don't complain about it. What you see instead is behavioral shutdown, reduced play initiation, more sleeping, subtle appetite shifts. Things owners almost always read as, oh, he's just calm today. He's not calm, he's managing. And here's the part that genuinely surprised me. Dogs can smell cortisol, their own and other dogs. Which means a chronically mildly stressed dog creates a feedback loop. Other dogs in the household start picking it up. The Frito Paw sniff you do because it's the best smell in the world. They're running a full chemical readout of your stress levels right back. You're basically an open book, and you didn't even know it. The reason all of this matters goes back a long way. In actual dog social language, the behaviors we use to express affection are almost identical to the behaviors dogs use to signal dominance or threat. Eye contact, challenge. Leaning over, assertion, physical restraint. What a predator does. Your dog has spent thousands of years learning to override those instincts around humans because the bond is genuinely worth it to them. But the instinct doesn't disappear. It just gets filed away. Golden retrievers have essentially factory reset their threat responses and will tolerate just about anything with a tail wag and zero resentment. Border Collies are internally filing a formal complaint and have been for some time. Now here's the stuff that almost never makes the list. Head pats. Most dogs actually prefer chin scratches. A pat on top of the head reads slightly aggressive coming from above. Maintained eye contact during tense moments. Interrupting those muffled, weird dream barks at 2 a.m.? Honestly, let them finish. Whatever they're chasing in that dream, it's important to them. Demonstrate a head pat versus a chin scratch on an imaginary dog. Show the difference. Grabbing at them mid-zoomies when they're in full chaos mode. Baby talk at high volume when they're already overstimulated. Small things. Nobody's villain origin story, but they add up. Here's something from the research that reframes this whole conversation. Owners who score highest on emotional attachment to their dogs are not necessarily the ones whose dogs show the lowest stress markers. Loving intensely and loving well are measurably different things. The most devoted owners sometimes create the most overstimulated dogs because they're expressing love in a language that doesn't fully translate. That's not an indictment. That's just a quiet invitation to learn a second language. And the shift is smaller than you think. This is not about becoming hands-off or cold or withholding. It's about learning your dog's yes. Hold both hands open, relaxed, palms up. Let them come to you. Watch what they do when they actually have a choice. A dog who stays in the hug because they want to, who leans in instead of freezing, who just tippy-taps toward you instead of tolerating you, that dog is communicating consent in the clearest way they know how. The same love, landing in the right language, is a completely different experience for both of you. We think love looks the same to everyone. Here's the reframe. Your dog has been showing you their love language the whole time. The chin nudge instead of the direct stare, the leaning without grabbing, the splitting your feet instead of climbing onto your lap, the way they bring you that half-chewed, slightly destroyed toy. Hold up a mangled toy, not because they want you to take it, but because sharing it with you is the entire point. They've been speaking, clearly, consistently. The only shift is learning to listen in a slightly different direction. Okay, here's what I actually want to know from you. What's the thing your dog clearly tolerates but definitely doesn't love, and you only figured it out embarrassingly recently? Because mine took me way too long. Drop it in the comments. Genuinely, no judgment. We have all been that person. If this one landed for you, share it with someone whose dog deserves the intel. And next video, we're going into something I think is going to completely change how you talk to your dog. Not training, something deeper. See you there.